Hey everyone, Joey here with Green Horizon Trade. Let's break down today's ORB Scanner setup and the rule of the day. Today we had two clear winners and one really important loser that teaches a lesson a lot of traders struggle with. SPHL and MLEC were the clean winners. I'm pretty sure you guys at least heard of the SPHL, a lot of chatter on that today, but both gave tradable structure and behaved the way you want ORB stocks to behave. And then we had AUID, which didn't fail all at once, but slowly kind of broke down. And that's exactly why today's rule of the day matters. So market context first, because today rewarded structure, not aggression. There were plenty of names moving early, but only a few actually respected orb levels, held the VWAP, and gave continuation you could manage. This was not a day to really force a trade, and if you're on any of these or have the orb scanner, you really didn't have to. It was a day where the stocks behaved cleanly. They actually paid out, and the ones that lost structure quietly drained your capital down. So the rule for today is when a stock can't reclaim VWAP, the trend is over. The rule is critical, especially for intraday traders. A stock doesn't have to just crash and burn to be a bad trade. Sometimes the most dangerous losers that are out there, as far as trades go, are the ones that slowly blend while convincing you to stay within the trade itself. So let's go ahead and look at SPHL. Like I said, this is one that a lot of people were trading today. So SPHL held the structured behavior in the way that made the trade management straightforward. The orb level itself was clear. So you can see here, here's where it broke out. It came in, broke out. Now it did pull back, but it maintained that 9 EMA line and then just continued to move up. So it gave you several opportunities to get in. The real biggest opportunity would have been right here if you didn't catch the orb, which was actually a little bit after it started moving. So this was about almost an hour after the stock market opened up. It gave a real clean breakout retest, which where it broke out, and the next candle ended up being green, and it maintained that 9 EMA. Would have been a good entry point. And look at this, you guys, a stellar run. Okay, over $10, almost $11 on this for the spike. Now, looking at the rest of the day, this is not where I would want to get in, as I mentioned before about volume, especially on the middays. Look at the volume just kind of dry out. And then boop, there's a peak, and then it goes dry out. This is very dangerous. I mean, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, so I'm not going to tell you guys, not to get in. If you want to get in, go for it. For me, this is just really risky. So volume did confirm on the move. As I mentioned right here, we have a lot of volume that came in. And most importantly, the price did respect the VWAP itself. That tells you buyers are still in control of the trade. Uh, Pullbacks were controlled and not panicked. As you can see, it doesn't break the 9 EMA until it gets up towards here. This is what a healthy intraday trend looks like. No perfection, but order itself. And when a stock gives you order, your job is simple: manage. That's all you got to do is just manage it. Don't micromanage it. For me, I just got in it and I just let it go. I respect my rule, and as it broke newer highs, newer levels, I adjusted my level. I made sure I slowly transitioned out. So that way I walked away with a profit no matter what happened with the trade. That's really the important thing. So the management became a discipline exercise is what it is. It's where you're not trying to guess the highs, because if you try to guess the highs and guess lows, you're tying up your capital or you're going to lose. You're not trying to force any size. You're asking one question: is the trend still intact when you get up here? For me, the trend's not. It started going down. It had to break lows, and then it could never get back up on the top. As long as the price is above VWAP, though, and respecting the structure, the trade itself is still valid. Granted, we're way off the VWAP here, but the other part is looking at the EMA 9, looking at the trend, drawing trend lines. Those are very important. So look at this trend line. Boom. And then it starts putting in lower lows, lower highs. So it's starting to come up here, but boom, there's another lower low. There's another lower low. And now the trend is going down. So you never want to be against a trend. You always want to be with the trend. And that's why knowing how to draw trend lines and identifying those trend lines are important. So look at that. We got this little hill. Boom. I mean, you get this little spike. The trend's not broken. So if you just connected these two, I wouldn't even consider getting into this until it passed this trend line. And then you could have caught a little bit of a profit. But at this point, for me, the trade's done. So let's move on to the second winner today, which is MLEC. Confirmed the orb stayed above it. So this one right here, very slow mover, no volume really into it. So this is, even though it broke the orb high, the next thing that I look at before entering it is, what is the volume doing? That's the next important thing. Look at this. There's really no volume right here. And then all of a sudden, it just perks up. And it just skyrockets. So that's the next thing that you want to look at is volume. And you can see right here, it starts perking up, it goes up, pulls back to the 9 EMA, tries to hold it, breaks it, but it really doesn't hold it until about right here. And then it really takes off. And which this one right here gave you, if you got in right here, and you got out on, which is at the bottom of this red candle, that's almost a $6 trade for you on this one that was called out by the ORB Scanner. So these are the trades that don't look impressive on a screenshot, but they do matter because consistency isn't built on one huge trade itself. It's built on stacking clean, rule-based wins, one after another. If you trade MLEC with realistic expectations, you manage your risk, protect the green by moving your stop loss, selling off half your position, letting the other half move, and you don't overstay. This did the job for you, and that's all a trade needs to do itself. So let's get into the loser, which is for me today was AUID. You can see this, a massive runner within pre-market itself. A lot of people go, oh yeah, this is running. There's a lot of volume. There's a lot of news. And you look at it, it went up, 132%, $1.40. And then it pulled back. And the reason why it pulled back was because everyone who bought down here, they're now selling up here. Okay, and then it hits the trend line, or it hits the VWAP, and then just kind of floats, and then just dies off. And yet again, look at this volume. What is the volume doing towards here? I mean, the volume's just up, down, up, down, up, down, and then it just kind of dies off. So this is not a loser. Not all of them are winners, and this is a tricky one. This is why you want to also look back and see what's going on. Look at this orb high. You can get caught in right here. Wrong one. There we go. You can get caught in your orb high right here. Then you have another break right here. But it struggles to break this high of day. It never touches that high of day. Or sorry, the high in pre-market. And so it just crashes. So each bounce ended up getting weaker and weaker after this. So it comes up, hits, weak. Volume comes in, hits, gets a little stronger, and then just dies. So that is what a dead intra trade looks like. Momentum kind of stalled. And here's the mistake traders make all the time. They see it, not going down much, and assume it's okay, because it takes a while for it to get down. I mean, it breaks up and then here goes and down. So this is a long drive to hold. So you're like, oh, it hasn't left this. It hasn't left this. And that's why I like to look at these. If it hasn't made its move within a matter of minutes and I'm not in profit, I get out. That's my next rule. My first rule is I'd like to give it here, this expanse. And yeah, right here, if you got in and it doesn't do anything, it pulls down. Look, it never actually hits the bottom of this orb until way out here, hours later after the move. But it's not going anywhere. Don't tie up your capital. Don't stay in. Don't hold losers. Winners don't hold losers. Winners hold winners. So it's not moving. It's not going the direction you want. So you want to get out. You're sitting in the trade. That's not working, tying up capital, draining focus, and slowly giving back your green. So why AUID matters. This is exactly why today's rule matters. When a stock can't reclaim VWAP, the trend is over. When it can't, in this case, it stayed above VWAP, but it could not reclaim the high from the pre-market. You don't need a breakdown candle to actually exit. You don't need a panic. You need honesty. If it doesn't break the high of the day, turns from support into resistance, the market is telling you something. It's telling you this is not good. And arguing with that is how traders turn small mistakes into a very frustrating day. Okay. AUID wasn't violent at all. It was convincing. It holds you in there. Then you're focusing on this when you could be focusing on other stocks like SPHL or MLEC. So this is how capital gets lost quietly. The market doesn't owe you continuation. When structure is gone, the trade is done. And protecting capital is just as important as growing it. So, just to summarize, SPHL showed a clean orb continuation. MLC delivered a structured based hit. AUID fell not with a crash, but it slowly just, kind of died out on you. Discipline mattered more than aggression on these trades. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like and subscribe below. It really helps support the channel. If you want to see these setups live instead of after the moves, the ORB Scanner is linked below. There is a free trial if you want to follow along in real time. I'll be back tomorrow with another breakdown. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks. Bye.